Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day I bid to everyone that watches this video. So today I will be explaining on classroom language, on giving instructions, managing behaviors, giving feedbacks, and giving questions. So prior to this video, I had collected samples from the internet on these four components of classroom language. So I have collected the samples from the internet on giving instructions, managing behaviors, giving feedbacks, and giving questions. Um, for the introduction, um, classroom language is essential for teachers to establish communication between teachers and students in the classroom. And effective communication is very important as it creates meaningful interactions that are fundamental for enjoyable and impactful learning for the students, and also an enjoyable and fruitful session for the teacher. And as we know, there are four main components of classroom language for teachers, which is giving instructions, managing behaviors, giving feedbacks, and also giving questions. So today we will look into these four components of classroom language that I had searched from all over the internet and relate it to the classroom language used in classroom in Malaysia. So for giving instructions, there are few periods in the classroom where the instruction should be extra clear, because it is very, very crucial for the teachers to give a clear instructions to the students in these periods. So in the start, in the start of the class, we want our classroom to be bright and have a welcoming atmosphere. So there are a few examples, such as when the students are coming into the room, we will just say like, "Hi everyone, just let me put my things here and we'll get started." So when the teacher enters the room and he or she says that, it will brighten the mood of the students that may have classes before. And when we enter the classroom, we may also say instructions such as please put your bags on your in your desk, and clean up your desk so that they can settle down, they can calm down, and they have time from transition from a class to our class, so they are ready to learn in our class. And of course, important for teachers to greet their students with "Good morning, everyone," "Good afternoon," and in the start of the class, they also have introductions. Like teachers have to say, "My name is NAFIZ. I will be your English teacher for this year. I am delightful to teach you this year, and I hope we will have fun time learning English together." So this is when the first time we enter the classroom. So that will be occasional. So in every day in the classroom, I think this also applies to the Malaysian context, where we have to take the register. The teacher have to see if everyone in the classroom. So we may say, let's see, let's see if everyone is here. Shout out present if you are here. Okay, let's look. Who is absent today? Who isn't here today? Oh, Aoni is away today. Does anyone know what happened to her? She didn't look very well yesterday. Maybe she's sick. Huh? Come again? Fine, really? In this weather, I will go to a vacation too. So, in this classroom language, we can see that the teachers are taking the register in the start of the classroom. So, these instructions indicates that we are aware with the students in the classroom. And of course, we have to know about the students and their well-being, such as asking how are they today. And it, we will go into the lesson by saying, let's begin, let's start. Can anyone remember what we did last week? So I think this sample is also applied in Malaysian classroom context. There are no difference in the terms of language use. And at the end of the class, they also use the phrases like we has finished the class, so back to your places, and remind them of the homework, such as we'll continue this chapter next Monday. Do exercise 10 um on page 23, and we leave the classroom like and say goodbye to them. So that's for starting and ending a lesson. So transition from activities to activities, there will also be instructions such as, excellent job everyone, you have done it so well. Can you take your work here? Now I want you to do the next activity. So that classroom language we use in the classroom um to jump from another activity to another activity. That's what the instructions are used for. And when we have transition from the activities, we would say, all together now, have everyone cleared their desks and put their drawing on my table? Good. Right now we will build a box club sculpture. I want you all of you to sit in group of four. So from activities to a new activities, we must indicate what we want from the students, and the instructions must be clear so that the students know that we are doing another activity starting from there. And when we explain about lesson content, it must be in a good sequence for the instructions to be clear, such as we use the words first of all, next, and in explaining lesson content, students may need time. So we will give them time to understand our instructions for them to do our activity well. And I think in giving instructions, there are no major differences from classroom all over the world. And I think teachers in Malaysian classroom context use quite similar um, instructional language or instructions to the students. And to finish behaviors, I think in the classroom there will be good behaviors that need to be promoted, need to be praised, and there are misbehaviors that we need to address. So to in using classroom language to establish, first we need to establish the classroom routines. So in the classroom routines, the teacher may make, instead of saying the rules for the students, I think most teachers will say the rules of the students. And as an addition, teachers could make a list that put in front of the class so the students know the classroom routines that they should follow. So the classroom routine should be concise as possible and ensures that the steps are developmentally appropriate. Using pictures and large print is a great way to communicate classroom. And we may expect that the students may not understand the routine that we make, so we need to explain for them and try to keep it as simple as possible, because too many rules in the class will make them feel pressured in the class. So in promoting positive attitudes, we must name concrete specific behaviors. So we may say, students, your hope and dreams display shows that you put careful thought into what you learn in this subject this year. Your works show so much detail. So we name the concrete and specific behaviors that we like so that they will um do the behaviors again, and they will expect that behavior to be good. And we use a warm and professional tone. Avoid using unprofessional tone because it will sound very awkward. So we may use something like this. Afiq, I noticed that you invited Azim into your game when you saw him standing alone. You really remember our rule about including everyone. So this is a warm and professional tone that students may perceive as this is very good thing from the teacher, and this will reinforce their positive attitudes. So we need also to emphasize description over personal approval. So we may use sentence like, you were friendly and helpful around the class today. When you talk and work together with your friend, the classroom become more cheerful. So we describe what we like from the students' behavior, and I think they will remember the description, and they will repeat this behavior. And we also acknowledge they may be misbehaviors around the classroom, but um find positive in all of our students. um let's say like this. A student go to the principal office, and because they have some misbehavior that need to be addressed, and that was yesterday, and today they are in good behavior. So we will praise for their good behavior, although they are misbehavior yesterday. So this will promote the positive attitudes in the students. So we also deal with negative behaviors in the classroom. So we the first thing we need to do is rewriting that behavior. So let's say the student is misbehave in the class, and we need to redirect this behavior. So we see that I see that you are having trouble staying in your seat. That means the students are not staying in their place. So the teachers may say after that, why don't you help me hand out these papers? So since the students are eager to do something, we give them tasks to do, and this will convert that negative behavior to actually a good behavior when they need to do things actually. So second, we set expectations, such as we set expectation that the class need to be um in a good in a not quiet but peaceful type of that atmosphere. So the teachers may set that they want a quiet class, or they want the students to focus on them. And teachers may also offering choices such as, would you like to do your reading now or after you finish your math work? So when the students are given choices, like in this case, the students may want to do another task instead of another task. So instead of um getting them misbehave, so offer them choice. Make the students may want to do something else, so let them do. And for certain cases, we need to do timeout because the students is, I think, need to calm down. Maybe he or she is having a bad day, so they need to calm down. So let them take a time out at a corner where they can rethink and relax before entering the class again. So next component is giving feedbacks. Um, in giving feedbacks, there will be two feedbacks, which is oral feedback and written feedback. So Moral feedback is a feedback that are spoken from a speaker to the receiver, in this case, teacher to the students. Oral feedback is can be done anytime because we only spoke that feedback, and this feedback is advantageous as they can turn any opportunities that considered to be teachable moments to take places. And written feedback is a written form of feedback. So written feedback provide opportunity for teachers to do detailed feedback on the student task. So teachers may have more time to write about what the feedback they want to give to the students. And there are five type of feedbacks, such as evaluative feedback, corrective feedback, descriptive feedback, interactional feedback, and motivational feedbacks. So this type of feedback is can be given orally or written. So in Malaysian classroom, I think both of the feedback are used in our classroom, such as when we give motivational feedback. Um, we say, "You did a great job on your project, my dear students. You showed creativity and initiative. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. And one thing you could work on is your time management. Try to plan ahead and set deadlines for yourself. But overall, you did an amazing job." So this feedback, I think, given in Malaysian classroom also, and I think it is very similar to the classroom all over the world. And both of this oral feedback and written feedback are used in the classroom. And next, in giving questions. So in the classroom, asking question is one of the core part for teaching and learning process. So teacher use question for variety of purposes, such as stimulating critical thinking, checking comprehension, and encouraging student participation. Um, so there are five types five types of questions that will be asked. So the first is managerial questions. These questions enable teachers to keep the flow of learning moving. So the first is there any question about the activity you are going to do? Does everyone have a green pen, or can you get everyone into groups, please? So these questions are used in our classroom today. When we want to initiate an activity. So next is a rhetorical question. Rhetorical questions, these questions are used to reinforce an idea or emphasize the point. So after we explain our content to students, so we want to remind them of the important parts of our lesson content. So we use a rhetorical question for that. And next is closed question. Closed question is to checking either they are focused in the class. So we may ask the students on the question of the content. And next is open question. Open questions allow students to debate and discuss about the questions. So these questions does not have a specific answer, but we ask the student to make them think more critically and provide an explanation. And next is display questions. Display question is designed to elicit learners' prior knowledge and to check comprehension. They often focus on the form or meaning of language structures and items. And actually, this question posed like the teacher already knows the answer, so it's quite similar to closed questions. And referential questions means that the question requires the learner to provide information and give an opinion, explain or clarify things. So they often focus on content rather than language. And the answer is not necessarily known by the teacher. So the question that may be posed is, can you explain the process of photosynthesis? So teacher may not know the questions, but the students who have read about photosynthesis may answer that question and give information to the class. So this type of questions are used in our classroom. And I think related to the Malaysian classroom context, Malaysian teachers in our classroom for their for giving question gives these types of question in the classroom, and I think it is relatable to our classroom context, and it is actually effective in our classroom nowadays, most specifically in the SL classroom. So in conclusion, I think for these four components, giving instructions, managing behavior, giving feedbacks, and giving question in our Malaysian classroom context, from the sample that I get from the internet, I think it is very, very similar. And I think these samples can be used in the Malaysian classroom with the students. I think that's all from me. Thank you.